Live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair podcast, episode 16, I think it is. Yeah, I think so. 3 months in now.
Maybe.
And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we did, if you have a look at your Spotify Wrapped, I'm sure many of you, hopefully, we were on it. Because we were third in the world, actually, just behind the Diary of a CEO podcast.
Yes. And I was actually a bit disappointed that we weren't nominated for any awards.
Same. I thought we were going to win the up-and-coming sports, specifically Arsenal podcast, but not really Arsenal podcast of the year award.
Or the FIFA Peace Prize.
Yeah, but
that would have been
that, to be fair, was awarded very...
non-politically.
I was going to say deservedly.
Right, yeah, of course. I mean, that's one way to put it. Cool.
To, a very generous, honourable man in Donald Trump.
Donald J. Trump.
We're going to keep winning. We're going to keep winning. Well, it looks like we're not winning anymore, are we, Josh?
No.
I thought that was going to be the thing. But
we lost. We lost to Aston Villa.
18-game unbeatable streak. Now it sounds like Spurs. or Liverpool. 18
yeah, but in all seriousness. Oh, we should get the Frank Lampard. Yeah,
Oh!
Right, so I've not even said anything yet. Yeah, we lost. And I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch any football this weekend.
Write that down, please. Just before Frank Lampard sound. Set piece goal.
That one's good. Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah. But also Frank Lampard just going, yeah, well, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, you see that thing where he goes,
yeah, well, but yeah, we've got,
Yeah, like jammy goal, set piece, jammy goal.
First goal, fluke. You know why it's so good? Because it has kind of the cadence and the flow of the 5 o'clock fish, 7
rice
o'clock
cake.
Fish and a rice cake.
Yeah.
Go to the gym, 9 o'clock fish. And what I liked about that video is that he used to think. You go 12 o'clock fish, 2 o'clock fish and a rice cake.
Maybe he was convinced that he maybe did cook something else throughout the day.
Yeah.
But then as he got more towards the end, he thought, fucking hell, is that all I have for dinner every day? It's fish and a rice cake.
Fish and a rice cake.
But I think he might have said one thing different at the end. He's got to be a paid actor. There's no way that's a real person.
No, he's a real person. And I think he got really big, but I think he might have just touched heads.
Anyway.
Sorry, back to the pod. Yeah, back to football. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we lost. 18-game unbeaten streaks coming to an end at the hands of Aston Villa, who are a very good team. And to be honest, it just fucking pisses me off. Like I don't. It seems like every team we play each week, but maybe every team feels like this, but it feels like it's a cup final, and like we're always playing the hardest team in the league. Obviously, we have had Newcastle away, Sunderland away, Chelsea away, and Villa away in the space of like 3 weeks. So it has been
not Newcastle
in the space of a month, but it's been
3 months. Newcastle was fucking ages ago.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's been difficult. It's been difficult.
Yeah. We've had a hard run of fixtures. I don't know. I mean, I guess on paper, when I went into it, I kind of was thinking point. Maybe this has got a point, like dropping points on it. Like I did think it was very possible.
I thought it was going to drop points, but I was quite happy with the draw. I thought it was 50-50. I think either team could have won it, but I think it deserved a draw.
Yeah,
I don't think Villa played better. And then,
but before the game, I just thought already. I was like, because Villa,
we didn't deserve to lose that game.
But we'll get into the game. But like I thought before going into it, because we'd had a hard week, because we'd done well. I don't know. I think we'd had a good week. I think actually with the Chelsea result and then going into Brentford, and I thought we weren't that great against Brentford, but it was one of those, like cliche sign of good, sign of a champion when you can beat a team and you're not playing well. Thought we had that kind of game against Brentford, and then going into this one, I just kind of thought early kickoff. I don't know. I was really pissed off because when I fucking went to another, I basically with work went to a different game because I thought that the Arsenal weren't playing, and they weren't. It got rescheduled. I don't really know why it got rescheduled to 12:30 when we played on Wednesday. Why we were on the earliest kickoff when you had City playing the day before?
No
us.
idea.
That doesn't make sense. I thought 12:30 at Villa Park, like it was always just going to be difficult,
And
especially
also when
the injuries.
you see the lineup, and to me, it's like Gabriel and Saliba are the most important pieces of our team, apart from Declan Rice. And yeah, like
Do you think?
you lose.
Do you think we would
Yeah.
say that? Do you think
Yeah.
if Saka was out, we'd say he's the most important part of our team?
It's a great question. I mean, we said that about Ødegaard when he got injured.
You
He's
say-
clearly not. I've established that he is clearly not. No,
he's
I'm not.
close,
No,
right.
funny, but
He's not.
He's not.
Not now.
He
I think
is-
he was.
Yeah,
I think he
he's
was. In fairness. Weirdly become
dispensable. Expendable, yeah.
Or
like
dispensable. I'm sure you could dispense him from various things.
I think so.
Shoot him
And
out of
Eze can fill
fucking
that hole. And also, to be honest, not very. I listened to the Gary Neville podcast.
Gary
Side note
podcast.
on Sunday night.
Who
He had a
was on
really
it?
good Gary Neville,
Oh, right.
and he made a really good point about Liverpool and Wirtz and how he plays. And he was saying that Wirtz is playing too deep.
Right.
And he should be playing off the shoulder of Isak or Ekitike. And basically, he said ideally a cam should sit on the edge of the box.
It's like Eze, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I was going to make a really
I'm
good.
sorry.
and
But you paused for quite a while.
Yeah,
So
sorry,
you
'cause
can
I was-
replay the footage.
Yeah, but basically, he just said, that's what. Yeah, essentially, what Eze did against Spurs and what he has been doing when he's played for us. That's what a cam should do. Should be there, ready to finish clinically, and also play off the striker, which I think he did really well with Gyökeres. When Ødegaard plays in that position, I don't know what he's just running around all over the place.
But to be fair, I don't know. This is the thing. Like, it goes.
Do you not agree though?
Yes, I do. But sometimes you have to think, where does that come
Like
from?
he's not a cam, is
Well,
he?
the question is, right, where does everything in the team come from?
Arteta.
Right. I think most Arsenal fans, there's kind of a consensus that is the case, right? That he is kind of
A
the
dictator.
Yeah. What's the term in like a direct an auteur? It's like someone that needs to control every aspect
An
of
orchestra. It's like the team's the orchestra and he's the conductor.
but he's like the kind of person that when in a film, like Quentin Tarantino, he needs every single part of the film, the dialogue, the filming, the cinematography, like every part of it, he'll be about.
Do you
it.
not think the players play with any freedom then? 'Cause
I don't
think they
know.
do.
Well, that's the question.
But
But I feel like the fan base in general, and there's also not just our fan base, but there's a tendency that like people think that Arteta is a bit of a controlling, dominating in that Pep Guardiola fashion, right? So like, let's give an example of Jack Grealish in Guardiola's system. It was very different because Guardiola kept Jack had to keep the width. Jack, like I know him, like he's my fucking mate. Grealish had to keep the width. He was very restricted in what he could do. We saw similar things with. I feel like there was a similar kind of vibe with Emile Smith Rowe or the way that certain players have had to play.
But Eze's already, Emile Smith Rowe is actually a great point, but maybe not so much. I just think he wasn't as good as the other cams in the team. But
Yeah, and he also just loved Nando's.
for me, yeah, that's true.
I felt like that was it.
It is nice. I bet he has plain with tomato sauce. But either way, I just think that what the hell? I lost my point.
I don't know, but it happens. I don't know. What my point is, right? Is that Ødegaard's fault? Is that just Ødegaard's natural like?
I was just going to say, I think Eze's done quite well comparatively to Grealish in terms of like how he's performed.
Right. No,
But
I
actually
completely
do
agree.
think he's better in that. Ødegaard is actually, this could be mental, but I don't, maybe it's reactionary because he's not been back for long. But I think Ødegaard could harm us more than benefit us, him coming back, because he's the club captain. He can't be dropped. And Eze, although he didn't have a great performance against Brentford, I think he is. Or Villa. But I do think, although he doesn't tie the game up, he's such a threat in that position. And I think defenders, it creates space for Saka and Gyökeres because defenders, I'm not worried. Then again, Ødegaard did play well, to be fair, against Villa. He had that shot, which was a beautiful shot. But in terms of, he had a couple, didn't he, Ødegaard? Where he shoots like a pea.
Generally speaking, he does. Or he pisses about a bit.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. I think Ødegaard, you see the difference. I think it's a question of control versus,
He does control the game.
but it's control or unpredictability.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'd rather
when we have
unpredictability.
Ødegaard, we have more control games.
great point.
But we sacrifice our spontaneity or unpredictability, kind of our creativity. When we have Eze in, we sacrifice our control of games. I feel like we're less. I feel like our midfield's in less control. But we have more spontaneity, and he can do anything.
And this is down
time,
to Arteta and his choices. For example, Wolves at home, stick Ødegaard in cam. I think that's great play as the offer left. As he's going to get a lot of space on that left. Ødegaard can run around. There's not much jeopardy in that game. It's at home. We're probably going to have 70% of the ball. Against Villa, where you know they're going to catch you on transition, and it's going to be that type of game where it's basically a cagey game, and whoever is more clinical wins the game, essentially. That's what was proved. For me, I think Eze should start in that cam position in those games where it's a bit more... What about big games? It depends on the opponent. It depends on the opponent. Tomorrow. City away, Ødegaard.
I think Ødegaard
plays so hard.
I think Ødegaard plays because with what I'm saying is in so many big games, my criticism
because Eze's not been good.
Yeah, but hold on. My criticism is bitten. I just think you don't play Eze in those games sometimes.
So hard.
Sometimes because maybe bring him off the bench. It's we've got 5 subs. But my point is with Ødegaard, we have control, and I think in those games, maybe in the City game we had control, but in Liverpool, at the Liverpool game, we just didn't. Ødegaard was out for that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
and I feel like we just were so passive.
Eze didn't play.
He came off the bench. He came off the bench.
He did.
But no, maybe that's a bad example then. But let's say the Newcastle game. Do you think we were in control of that game? I suppose we were. We played really well.
Yeah,
so it's hard.
I think we've got enough control with Rice and Zubimendi.
Do you think though? I think
yeah, I do. And I think Ødegaard changes the way we play ultimately. Right. And for me, I think actually we've moved past that in a way.
Really?
Saka, attacking wise, who do you want to have the ball in the Arsenal team? If you were to say, give someone the ball, in terms of if I want to breathe easy and I want to go, I would say Ødegaard, yeah. But we have got Zubimendi who does that now.
He doesn't
who do I want to have the ball in and around the box? Saka, Eze, Gyökeres, Trossard, Madueke. Do I want Ødegaard on the ball? No. And that's harsh, but I don't...
But that's what I'm saying, right? So yeah, in the final third, I completely agree. In the final third, who do I want the ball? That's what I'm saying, right? I think Ødegaard is not that player now. Like
it should be Rice or Zubimendi. Ødegaard or Zubimendi is the question for me. It should be those. It should be a choice between Zubimendi or Ødegaard. They do the same thing. They do the same thing.
They don't though. I don't think they. I see your point. My point is. Going back to what we were initially talking about, right? I was doing the Thierry Henry thing that he does in CBS. I feel like when you grab a pen and it's like,
no, it looks good.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the original point was: is this to Arteta or is this Ødegaard or is it personality? Right. So is this coming from a manager or is this just their football personalities?
I think it's part. It's a bit of both.
It's both.
It's a bit of both
because Ødegaard wants to be. He wants to be in every aspect of the game. Eze is quite happy to just float about. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He wants goals and assists. I think he is a cam in that sense, right?
Yeah, he is.
Whereas Ødegaard is, and that's what I mean, they are just fundamentally different players.
Way different players.
And so therefore Arteta, that's what makes it so difficult.
He's playing to their strength, isn't he? I don't think the tactics when Eze is in cam is the same as when Ødegaard's in cam. Because they are different players.
And your point is you prefer the tactics of Eze?
It's not that I prefer the tactics. I just think we've got more chance of winning the game.
Right.
I think we'll keep control. Your point was it was bang on that. It depends on the context. I think Arteta got it. But the broader point is I think they're both fantastic options and they're both brilliant players in their own right. And I think Ødegaard, bless him, without his injuries, he wanted to... For me, Ødegaard should have been the next De Bruyne in terms of we're lacking that cam in the league that's really fucking tough.
But
And I think Ødegaard has all the attributes. You know, he's got the long shots, he's got the passing range, he's got the vision. I think he could be that player. And to be honest,
he did have it.
Gary Neville touted him a couple of seasons ago to be player of the season. I think it was this season too. He said, Ødegaard, this is his. And again, the injuries have really hurt him. So I think he could be that player. But I just think it depends on the game. It depends on the game, doesn't it, mate? Like, for example, Champions League depends on the opponent. And the game. It's a bit mix of both, isn't it?
Okay, but going back 2 seasons, Ødegaard was probably our best player when he was getting.
Yeah, he was. 3 seasons now.
He was in the double figures for goals, and he got quite a few assists. Yeah. He was our best player. He's probably one of the best players in the league. When Ødegaard's playing like that, I don't think Eze gets near the team in the cam, right?
Yeah, he's undroppable.
I think you have to play Ødegaard. But right now, Ødegaard, what he's providing for the team is not quite enough to warrant him being in the team because all he's doing right now, all he is kind of offering us is a bit more of an advanced Zubimendi role, right? Whereas before he was offering us a bit more flair, a bit more. Right now, he just isn't, and I don't know why. And,
also,
and
I don't get it really, because when Ødegaard plays with Haaland for Norway, he feeds those passes into Haaland all the time. So I think it's Arteta,
right,
as well, because for me, Arteta should be saying to Ødegaard, as soon as you get the fucking ball, get your head up and look to feed Gyökeres into the channels. I don't think that's the first thing on Ødegaard's mind. I saw a clip of us against Villa, and Gyökeres made 2 amazing runs on the inside and the outside of the defender. Ødegaard chose not to pass to him. He drove with the ball for about 10, 15 yards and then offloaded it to Saka on the right. So ultimately, I don't think the players are at fault here at all. I think this result against Villa has hinged on the manager once again. And you have to look at him. And at the end of the day, he's got all the tools. And I know I know the injuries, to be fair to him, have been shocking. And also all in the same position, which is really annoying. It's not like Gyökeres and Saliba's out, but got Gabriel and Havertz. It's all in the same area of the pitch, which is frustrating. But I think he needs to get better at rotation and needs to get better at giving players more minutes and more opportunities. He needs to put more trust in players. Nørgaard, that's shocking. I mean, he is one of the best blockers of a football and really one of the best tacklers in the Premier League at Brentford. He was proven to be. You look at the stats. Against Villa, Rice and Zubimendi are knackered. They've played every single game this season. Why not bring Nørgaard on against Villa to protect that 1-1? I know we're trying to win the league, so maybe Arteta was saying, I think we can get another goal, so he's kept the attackers on. Fair enough.
Yeah,
you criticise him.
It.
You criticise him if he brought on Nørgaard and think, fucking hell, he's played for a draw here. But I think if you look at the way the game was going, despite this game, I think Nørgaard should have played more minutes. I think Nwaneri should have been playing more minutes. I think MLS should have had more minutes by now. I don't think he's rotating his squad enough. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
No, I agree. I think the trust thing's really interesting, right? And I was talking to, ironically, I went to the fucking Derby County game with another Arsenal fan that also fucking was pissed off because we both missed it. And he was the reason. This bloke actually is a season ticket holder as well. Shout out to Zila. But we were talking about like, he agrees in terms of rotation. And what I was saying to him was like, I think the trust thing goes into every part of the team. Like, and I think it's clearest. And it's weird because Zila was like, well, I don't give a crap if goalkeepers get rotated. But I do find it strange that like, even at goalkeeper level, right, he cannot just give like Kepa a chance. Like Kepa was Bournemouth's starting keeper. He started for Real Madrid because of injuries 2 seasons because Courtois was out. Kepa is a good, it's really solid Premier League keeper. He doesn't even play him ever. I think Kepa's had 1-2 appearances.
Does he not play in the Cups?
No, he doesn't play in Champions League.
No, but not in the Champions League. I wouldn't trust him in the Champions League.
What, against Slavia Prague?
No, I think Kepa has a chance of starting.
Yeah, but what about Kepa in against Slavia Prague? Would he play him in an FA Cup final?
No, what I'm saying is, right. What I'm saying is, I agree, but I think at the end of the day, like Raya, if he's fit and he's a goalkeeper, there's not. I think he should be playing every game.
Do you get my point though? It's like,
no, I agree.
Why do you have a second?
I agree.
Keeper?
I think he should be playing in the Carabao Cup. I don't know if he. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He should be playing.
He did play in the Carabao Cup,
but
didn't
I think Kepa should be playing it against like Slavia Prague.
Because now we've qualified for the Premier League. Yeah, I agree.
But my example is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
is if you let me finish, is like Kepa, baby. I know what's coming before it happens because he goes to click this soundboard. But my point is not that Raya can't play every game. But if Raya gets injured tomorrow, right? Yeah. Gets a finger injury, a shoulder, whatever it is that fucking goalkeepers get injured for. Kepa comes in, cold turkey, not really played at all.
I know what you mean.
What is he doing? And we're all going to be thinking, why is Kepa started 1 game this season? I find it strange.
Correct me if I'm
Same
wrong,
with Ben White.
I do think he's playing in the Carabao Cup.
But that's not enough.
By the way, Ben White is...
What's going on there?
Ben White's a joke.
Right.
So the one thing... Keepers, I think it's a good point made by Zila there. Is that his name? Yeah. I think it's a good point because, yeah, I do agree. I think it is strange that the keeper's not got as much minutes. But keeper, you can sort of accept a keeper. Where I can't accept it is a player like Ben White, who has actually come in against Villa and the last game against Brentford, and he hasn't really put a foot wrong.
No, in fact, he was good.
He looked a bit rusty.
Every now and then.
But he's been a crucial part. He got an assist.
Yeah.
And he looked Let's be honest. We forgot that he was one of the best fullbacks in the league when we were on that title
He was one of our best players.
He
for the
is
last couple of
one of the
seasons.
best, one of the first players on the team sheet.
Yeah.
He's got his own fucking chant. He's immense, especially with Saka on that right hand side. As soon as Arteta's trusted Timber, now he can't even be like, oh, you can play against Wolves. You can play. He has to wait until Timber or Mosquera gets injured for him to even get minutes. Whereas Mosquera starts over Ben White, which for me is crazy, considering that he's just come into the club. And I mean, at Stamford Bridge, like, fucking hell, like, yeah, I just think White's a big one for me. Nwaneri, for me, he's been treated unfairly. You should have let him leave. Giving him a contract.
I don't think anyone wanted him to leave, but
Yes, but he should have been allowed to go on loan or something because he's sat rotting on the bench. He's got no minutes, and he had a breakout season last year. He scored 9 goals.
Yeah, that's true.
9 goals, 18.
Yeah, that's true.
So he should be playing football.
Even Max Dowman, who's been brilliant every time he's come on, has not had a sniff.
Why is he in the first team squad? I mean, to be fair, he's played in the under-21s.
But if he's in the first team squad, why does he never come off the bench? I don't get what's the point of having him in the first team squad if he's not coming off the bench.
It's Arteta's Scott.
My thing is, right, anyway, sorry, talking about youngsters is a slightly different because we're trying to win a title, and every time it was the classic like Wenger thing where it's like you'll lose with young defenders he was talking about, but
it is true to be fair. When he brought Miles on against Villa, he didn't look
But
great.
my thing
I think
is
he's
like,
going to become a bit dejected though.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
the when you stop playing players. So he was full of confidence. He played against PSG and all that in the Real Madrid and Champions League, and he looked immense. He was full of confidence. I think it's because Arteta hasn't had as much faith in him, and he's got hardly any minutes, and Calafiori's played every single fucking game, which for me is bad man management. I think he's actually lost confidence, and now he's playing bad. Whereas I think if Arteta said to Miles, look, you can play this game, they rotated a bit more, I think he wouldn't have lost as much confidence. And he looks half the player he did last season.
I do find something strange. I don't know. I think it's the general point is like Arteta has his favourites, I think. Yeah. And I think that is obvious.
But they change though.
Yeah, they do change. Weird. And I don't know what it is. And we're not going to know though, are we? Like how that is.
It's based
on
he
trust. Might have his reasons.
Like Trossard, it's Arteta's baby at the minute. But before it was Martinelli. It's always been Martinelli. So I think, yeah, the good thing about Arteta is, I guess, he's proved with, for example, Trossard as a good example, that if you do work hard enough and if you are consistent, he will give up on you eventually, and he'll replace you, and they will trust someone else over you. We've seen that with Martinelli.
But I think my point is it's like it takes some players longer to get to that point. Like it takes some players like let's give an example, Ødegaard, who's been underperforming for probably over a season. It's taken him quite a while to get to, and it's basically like, let's be real, right? If Ødegaard had not been injured in and out with injuries, would Eze have been starting so many games? No. Second point, if Havertz was fit, who do you think would be playing up front?
Havertz.
I agree. So I think he's clearly got, and I don't know, and I think it's because he's wedded to like tactical profiles of players, right? He likes what certain players offer, and even when they're underperforming, I don't think he can sometimes see past that. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I feel like. Me, I know Saka is a prime example because of what he offers you in terms of how good he is at his decision making, how he occupies players. I think he's so.
He is an anomaly though. The one thing that bugged me against Villa was that Gyökeres didn't start.
Really? Why? Why did
because he was. Marino's fantastic. Marino's been fantastic.
Exactly. So that's why it didn't really bother me.
No, but against Villa in terms of the way they play, I just think Marino's good against when we have, and we did have quite a lot of possession, but I just think because it's such a transitional game against Villa, I think Gyökeres would have just been better. Also, let's be honest, mate, he's better than Marino. Like I know he's not as good a finisher, which is Max is a striker, but he scored 60 goals in a calendar year.
Can you say he's better than Marino? Though?
Yeah,
like, how can you say that?
Because he's a better. He plays striker better than Marino in terms of he's more explosive. He offers more in terms of bullying defenders a bit more. He's a bit more of a handful. Marino's a fantastic finisher. But
Have we
Gyökeres
not
for
been
me is-
better with Marino since he's come to
No,
the team?
no,
Do you not
no.
think
Let's
so?
go. People have got short memories. Well, what was that? That half he got injured. He was the best player on the pitch by a mile. Gyökeres.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm playing devil's advocate. I tend to agree that I think Gyökeres. I'm actually quite a fan of Gyökeres.
I am. I think he's great.
What's really annoying me is the bad press he gets all the time, and not even from like. You know what? I thought it was going to be before. It's really strange, right? Before Gyökeres came in, I thought it was going to be people like Carragher, Neville, like outside voices from the club that would be negative about Gyökeres. I thought he'd get a lot of like the Wirtz as stuff that he's been getting, right? Actually, I think it's a lot of people inside the fan base that just don't rate him. And it's like small petty things, like because he's not a finesse. Like, it's really annoying.
He's not been brought in for that.
No, I know. I understand that. But what's also annoying me is like, I think he's really underrated what he does. Like, I don't know. This is harsh because I actually agree with a lot of what like Arseblog say. But Arseblog said something along the lines of, Gyökeres is the kind of the guy that's he puts a sledgehammer to a peanut or whatever. Like, to crack a nut, he'd use a sledgehammer. But I actually think that's, like basically he's a brute. And you hear that a lot.
That's a huge oversight.
But you hear that a lot. Yeah, exactly. I actually don't think that Gyökeres, just because he's a big guy that's got explosive, I think actually he's got a lot of good technique. I actually think his hold-up play is really good. And I think people just are writing him off quite quickly in terms of what he offers the team. And I think it's purely aesthetic.
It's because it looks a certain way.
Yeah.
Same with Ozil. I understand. This is going to trigger you, but Ozil actually ran. I know he didn't run. I don't know. He didn't make a lot of effective runs, but people used to call Ozil lazy, which I thought was a bit of a lazy analysis because he ran a lot. He just wasn't very good at when he ran. He wasn't very good at tackling and stuff. So I think that's why. A bit like Ødegaard, really. He runs a lot, but he's not as good at tackling as Rice or Zubimendi. So, but he doesn't seem lazy. But I think that's what it's lazy analysis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like some games, he probably doesn't offer much, but I think. Actually, Gyökeres offers, and people might roast me for this, but I genuinely think that Gyökeres is technically better than Haaland. Maybe not, but that's my personal opinion. Looking at both players, I think he's been good in the link-up. So yeah, I just think
he's certainly better than what Sesko's been when I've seen Sesko, and that was the thing that he would apparently have had more. That was kind of the thing, right? It was either like Gyökeres for goals or Sesko for kind of like a better overall player. I don't think it's been the case that, yeah.
Ultimately, if we want to go back to Villa, I just think Arteta again, and it's this thing we've seen at the start of the season, Josh, haven't we? Like, he plays it safe a lot, like far too often. So I think, like Eze on the left, and obviously,
do you think he really played it safe?
Well, maybe Emery. I think maybe Emery tactically got it right, potentially, and Arteta didn't. He seems to have a number on Arteta, doesn't he? Because what we did in the first half didn't work at all. They nullified everything. As soon as we brought Trossard on, we looked fantastic. So I'm talking about Arteta tactically. I think he should have started Trossard and Gyökeres, and I think that would have made a huge difference to the way we played in the first half. Those two came on, they changed the game. Was good substitutions, though, to be fair, and we did score. So at that point, you think we're in the game. And then it's the defense, and then we were crap. And then it's the defense that lets us down.
You just think,
but at the end of the day, I think again, and this is why I come back to the point at the start. Saliba and Gabriel are crucial, and either of them. So as long as one of them starts beside someone else at centre back, we're fine.
Okay,
but one of them has to start, or we are shit.
Okay. Well, let's leave that there. I think with Arsenal because we spoke a good bit of time. Yeah. But we can move on there to where that leaves the league. For me, it was really disappointing result just because of the manner it happened. I don't actually think when you look at, for example, when you and like how I like to analyze it like logically and just like not being super reactive about it and like trying to be reactionary. But like when you look at Aston Villa away on paper, every time in a set of fixtures, I'm always like, Emery, something could happen.
Not even that, they're a fantastic
and they're
team
good. No, but do you know what I mean? Though there is that narrative. There's they're always up for it. They always put shift in.
Emery's a good coach,
and that's the thing. And I kind of just think, well, we've just took that loss this week, and it's just not a cry for me. I'm not that worried about it just because we've lost a game.
No, the thing is, I'm disappointed that we couldn't keep
because
the draw.
I'd like to.
And I
have
actually
momentum,
thought the draw without our two centre backs is fantastic at Villa Park. I think a draw was a great result at Villa Park away because it's not even that. I think we'll play pretty well. I think the centre backs the centre-back situation against Villa at Villa Park is far from ideal. You take any other Premier League team and take out their 2 starting centre-backs.
That's true.
And you go to a Villa away, and I'm sorry, but it's a fucking miracle if you come away with a point.
Well, we saw what happened to Liverpool that season that they had their starting centre-backs out.
So I think Arteta, to be fair to him, he's done really well considering like with the options that we have. And it's a good job we have got that depth now because Timber can come in and play centre-back and White can move to that right-back position.
Also, you can't bottle the league on the 14th game of the season.
No.
You just...
But we can... What we do have to do, though, is make sure we do recover from this and we get back on a run. Because, inevitably, it is
the thing is, you can't win because it's like the same people that are like, Arsenal happen again, are the same people that when we've been good this early on, because we have been good the last few, it's been the best... We've been on form. We are still, before these injuries, the best team in Europe, I think. And I think we have been this season. But they say, well, you need to be the best in May, right? So you can apply that logic here, right?
Also, it's all...
And our run of fixtures, the second half of the season, we're going on a title charge. The second half of the season, though, our fixtures are a lot easier. They are. So and we'll get our full squad back, hopefully. And then I think we crack on.
For me, it's more of a case of as long as you're in and around. So whether we're 3 points behind City or they're 3 points above us.
That's the exact same
Whether
thing.
we're 3 points behind City or Man City are 3 points above us.
That's the exact same
thing. Whether Man City are 3 points below us or City are 3 points above us. Sorry, that's the same thing. Whether... Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. No, not now. Whether we're above City or below them by a few points.
Whether Arsenal are 3 points above City or Man City are 3 points below Arsenal.
It doesn't. When there's 10 games to go, then you go, right, it doesn't really matter. But exactly, it still doesn't matter. It's like who's got the bottle there.
As long as there's a difference of around 5 points between between 1 and 2 or 1 and 4, however many teams are in it by April. No, because it's whoever's. So, for example, if Chelsea is still 5, if Chelsea are 5 behind us and Man City in April, you could still say they. The
point is, it doesn't matter.
Anyone can win
as long as we're in and around it.
Look at Everton.
It doesn't matter where we're.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Everton. They're 5 points behind City.
Well, like when that season, 21-22, or
Oh my God! It reminds me. Villa were actually top of the table at this point. A few seasons ago, we were top at Christmas loads of times. We had 50 points in the first, 20 games or something stupid. I don't know what it was, and everyone was thinking we were 9 points. I think we were 9 points clear of City.
We were above City at Christmas that season. So
irrelevant.
It doesn't really matter.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So everyone fucking calm down. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, but then it's hard, isn't it? So it's just anyway. Right, let's move on.
No, it's completely irrelevant.
Do you care about City?
No, I want to talk about Liverpool, to be honest. And I want to talk about this Mo Salah thing because I just find it pretty funny.
All right.
What is your general perception and overview as Mo Salah as a player and a person just before we get on to things with him? Because what do you make of him? If I just said describe, what do you make of him?
I don't know.
Okay,
Do you think you're trying to? Are you trying to tell? You think he's a bit of a knob? Is that what you're getting?
I think he's a bit of a knob.
Right.
I think he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
But he keeps saying that he's given his all for the club, which he has done a really good job.
But he's also given it all for himself.
At the end of the day, he has just been trying to win a Ballon d'Or his whole time at Liverpool, and he doesn't track back. He doesn't really tackle that much. He doesn't block shots. He's a winger. Your job is to score goals and assist. And it's not like Saka where he's tracking back to his fucking own 6-yard box and he's trying to win headers and he doesn't do anything apart from scoring assists. And as we've seen, if you're not scoring an assist, he needs to be dropped, and he's not. And now he's had a massive fucking go because he's not starting a game. You don't deserve to start because you're not doing the basics. If you're not scoring and you're not assisting, he's basically.
But he never has done the basics, has he? So
exactly. But now, point. If you're not scoring and assisting,
but his point is in the interview,
he's going on a run. That's his point.
No, you can play.
Let's play the interview and let's
see what you think.
Yeah.
The club promised me in the summer for a lot of promises and nothing. So far, I'm in the bench 3 games, so I can't say that they keep the promise. And I said that many times before. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. It seems to me, how I see it, it's someone doesn't want to be in the club. It's not acceptable for me, to be fair. Like, I don't know why that's happening always to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't think I'm the problem. I have done so much for this club.
So to me, that screams promises. Number one, obviously game time, because he's, you know, he signed a new contract. He didn't need to. He could have moved, and obviously they've said Salah, you're Salah.
To be fair, if they say to him, you're going to play every game, then they shouldn't not play him.
And not every game, but you're going to play. Yeah, exactly. I
Well,
mean, come on,
that's
it's
what it
fucking
sounds
Salah.
like they've said.
It sounds like they've said that. Yeah.
So
then,
why would he say they made a lot of promises?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
of course you look. I'm sorry. You sign a contract like that. Salah's probably said to them, like, if I'm going to stay here, I want to play. Of course, it's a common sense, right? Because if I'm not going to play, I'm not going to win a Ballon d'Or. I'm not going to score. Like, he probably wants to. He's trying to be still one of the best players in the world, whether he is or not. He was last season. Yeah. Whether he's finished or not, you can't not play Salah. No. It's like not playing Ronaldo at Madrid. You cannot not do it. So, and then secondly, he's saying my relationship with the manager is now non-existent. Clear as day from me, this is that he does not rate the manager.
I don't think it's
anymore.
That. I don't think it's that. I think it's just. I just don't think the manager rates him
anymore. Well, the manager doesn't rate. What's funny is,
well, not now.
Last season,
yeah, he won. I think
Salah's got a very good point.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
think
because he literally won the title.
Point.
You know,
he's got a good point.
And he's been their best player for the last 7 years.
I know he's
years.
a knob when he comes out, but it kind of reminds me of, like, I kind of like it in a way. Yes, he's a knob because I think most players wouldn't do it, but also he's a good knob in a way because I think he's actually saying. You think he's actually saying what a lot of Liverpool fans are thinking right now, which is you need to make the team work so Salah's back to his best because he's obviously not finished. Last season he was unreal, and he used Harry Kane as an example. If Harry Kane doesn't score in 5 games in a row, do you drop him? Of course you fucking don't. It's Harry Kane. He's gonna score again. He's Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So age and all this stuff, it's not like the bloke's 40. He needs to be playing.
Well, to be fair, yeah, there's no coincidence like that Liverpool, you know, are what? They were much better last season, functioning team. Mo Salah has like a generational season, and then this season they've been really poor, and he's dropped off too. You know, there's those things. There's a reason. You know, it can't just a player's not just gonna keep playing so consistently, even if his team drops, he's gonna drop too, right? That's just natural. Like players will drop levels with a team.
I mean, look at Van Dijk. You can't say that he's the same level
and that's
as he
the
was
thing.
last
Every
season.
single player's dropped off.
Yeah.
New signings, old signings. No one's been good.
No. So I agree. He says in that interview basically that he's been benched 3 times in a row now, and he's saying basically that Arne Slot is using him as a scapegoat. And potentially this could be a tactical masterclass from Slot. We're all saying he's a bad manager. This could be the best piece of management to save his job ever. Because ultimately it screams for me Slot trying to save his job. He's lost. He's completely lost. The board, and it's a board problem. It's not Slot's problem because I think Slot did a fantastic job taking over from Klopp and they shouldn't have made those signings, but he's been really fucking handed a joker card this season. The board has really fucked him over.
In what way?
Because if Slot wanted to buy Ekitike... No, listen. If Slot wanted to buy Ekitike and Isak, if he said to them, I want them both. We don't know. I'm using this as a thing. If he agreed to that, he's a fucking moron and he deserves adverts when they clearly needed a fucking CDM and a centre-back. If he agreed to that and said, that's perfect, that sounds like a great plan, he's an idiot. I don't think no manager's not going to say no to signings, especially signings that good, but surely you must have thought, why the fuck are we signing 2 strikers? I've already got Salah. How the fuck am I going to fit all these players in? Surely you would have thought that before the season started.
Right,
it just doesn't make any sense.
Right, one sec. So there's
how do you expect any manager like Arteta or Pep? How the fuck do you manage to get that? Is a hard job to get those players into a team.
I don't have that much sympathy for him. To be honest.
I don't have sympathy, but I'm saying, do you not think that's a hard? No, but do you not think that's a hard job?
I think it's a hard job, but he's a Liverpool manager and he gets paid money to do it. And if you can't do it, go. If you can't do it, he has to go.
I think it's genuinely impossible.
Why is it?
Okay, how do you get Ekitike, Salah, Verts and fucking Isak in the same team. How is that possible?
You could play one of them on the wing.
Salah's on the right wing.
Yeah.
Isak has to be up top because he can't start really on the left.
Why not?
Ekitike starts on the left.
for Sociedad, I think.
So who would you play up top?
Well, you can play Ekitike.
So you play Ekitike or Isak on it. So you play one of them on left, so Isak or Ekitike, and then you play. So that should be. So why is he not? Why do you think he's not gone with that ever? Because then you've got Gakpo.
I don't know.
For me, Gakpo has to. So really, I think maybe he is a bad manager because really, Isak and Ekitike should be sharing the minutes. But he's obviously a bad man manager because you can't upset Isak and he can't upset Ekitike. Then he can't upset Gakpo.
I don't know.
Hard.
I don't know
it's
what.
Hard, isn't it?
Personally, it's the issue. Why Salah's
too many
right
players.
is that like
Too many
it's
players.
not really the attack that is the attack the issue. What is the issue? That's the first question. What is going on at Liverpool? Could you pinpoint one thing?
For me, the attack is the main issue.
Really?
I know.
No, because it's interesting. Because at the start of the season, we all would have said the defense is the issue. Carragher said the defense is the issue. They play like basketball game football. They, I think it's their core, their spine is weaker than it's ever been.
The reason why I say it's attack is because Liverpool are built on attack. You think of all the best Liverpool teams. No, but listen, the way they play it's all built on the attack.
But they've always had a good core. Like they've always had a good spine.
Liverpool can always get out of jail because they suffocate teams and they score goals.
When did they go up a level, right? When did they really become the team, the Klopp team? It was when they brought in Alisson
and Van Dijk.
And when it was when they brought in Van Dijk.
True.
And they've forgotten that, I think. Robertson, really solid pro and a great, he was brilliant.
My only point is when you look at a Liverpool game, you think how are Liverpool going to win this game? It's not like Arsenal based off their defensive solidity. It's always about them scoring first,
it's both,
then scoring again.
That's just
but what I'm saying is, Josh.
No, that's what they've become. But it's not what they always were.
For me, defense
under Klopp, they were still solid at the back. They were still
true,
they still
and
had
also
brilliant defenses.
To be fair, maybe I'm wrong because
They've
you look at the weekend. They were 2-0 up, so their attack wasn't the problem, was it?
No.
They scored 2 goals, and then they've conceded 3.
So if it's that, then forget all the shit about... Forget all of it about the starting lineup.
So forget Salah,
So forget all of the Salah issue, forget the Isak issue, forget the Verts thing. That, for me, doesn't matter, because you shouldn't be losing in the manner that they've lost some of these games. The City game. Nothing
So do you think Salah's just a cunt, then?
No, what I'm trying to say is, right, he is being scapegoated, but so is their attack more widely, right? And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, it's easy to look at Verts, Isak, and Salah having stinker seasons. That's really easy to point to. What's harder, I think, is actually understanding why they're so poor. And also, I think I think with attackers, it's always flashy because it's like a numbers thing, isn't it, right? When they drop off, there's a clear numbers game, right? You can see, okay, 20 goals, 10 goals, 0 goals, right? Whatever it is. With midfielders, defenders, like with a centre-back, for example, it's quite hard to know, like sometimes when they are dropping off. Like Van Dijk, it's difficult to pinpoint the moment where you think, is he finished? Is he dropping off? It's quite hard to know these things. Personally, I think the issue is the way they built the squad, going back to what you've said at the start. But is that Slot's fault? No.
That's what I'm saying. So I kind of have sympathy for him.
But also, it has to be a bit because surely
if he approved those signings,
it must be.
Because some clubs, I don't know how they work. Some clubs, because for me, it doesn't make any sense. It's like I doubt Slot's come in and gone, I want Verts, Ekitike, and Isak. If he has, he's shit. He's shit. Because that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, the signings that have hurt them, to be honest, and it's not Isak, it's not Verts, and it's not Ekitike. I think they're all brilliant players, to be honest. I actually think they do. I'd be happy if Arsenal signed any of those players. I think what the signings that have hurt them is Frimpong
and Kirkaz.
And then also just not making that, and then using what you could argue is with the Ekitike or Isak money, they use that to invest in the midfield. Also, and then I think you better like if they brought in a really solid right back and maybe an extra defender like Mark Gay, And then they used a bit more money. They invested in a better central midfielder. What's like if they had Zubimendi right now, maybe it'd be a different thing.
What's funny is we've always complimented Liverpool on this transfer strategy and the way they do the business. And they've gone from a club that every year seems to make smart decisions
and smart,
and progressively get better. If not, they stay at the same level because they are smart. And I potentially think that transfer window this summer, it's mental to think
fair,
this.
though,
No, just let me finish. Let me finish. That transfer window, people were saying it's the best transfer window of all time. It could turn out to be the worst transfer window of all time because it could actually set Liverpool Football Club back a few years.
Yeah, it's true. Like genuinely, it's not a quick fix, is it at all?
No.
So, and that's the thing. Like the issues are tenfold. I don't even know where to start.
Well, start off with if he doesn't find a system where Kirkes and Frimpong start playing well and play. He's got to fix the entire defence.
To be fair though, like Carragher deserves some credit because he's been moaning about FSG and he's been moaning about some of the Liverpool's decisions for a long time. And because I think he knows his club, right? And I think he knows that some of the decisions they make, the contract issues, like why they had Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold on into their last year, and then they forced themselves into a corner. They either had to let them go, and then the fans are in dismay with Trent. That's the option they took. Or you get no offense because, and it's not because they don't deserve it, but you can be held to ransom. And then you have this problem where Salah, going back to the Salah thing, when you go all out on keeping this player, then if he doesn't perform, you're just stuck. Like now, Salah's value, right? If they got rid of him the season before last, or last summer that's just gone, you know, it could have been. Well, he would have
talking like 80 million quid.
Yeah, now his value is going to plummet, isn't it?
Still a lot of money. He'd still go for a lot of money. He'd still go.
But
for
who's going to buy him?
No one in
those
the
wages.
No
Saudi?
one in the Premier League. He'd go Saudi. Yeah, of course he'd go Saudi. He'd be amazing in Saudi. He'd fucking love it over there. So yeah, I think he's off to Saudi in January, which is a really disappointing end to a legendary player at Liverpool. But also, it just shows that potentially, for me, this might be a really basic way to look at it, but it just shows to me that he was only bothered about himself. Because
he's
Mardy.
But he's done it though.
I'm sorry,
what loyalty does he have now?
He should be a professional. If you're dropped, he should look in the mirror and go, I haven't actually been very good this season. And yes, I'm sort of being used as a scapegoat.
But what can I do?
I can't do anything. I work hard in training. If I come on off the bench,
get on with it.
I'm Mo Salah. I back myself to score. If I don't play for the rest of the season, it's a joke. But once, obviously, the fans...
That's why he is a dickhead. Because it's been 2-3 games.
3 games?
You're a dick. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. He's a knob.
He is a bit of a knob.
And what I'm saying is, even if you dropped for literally a month, let the fans ask the questions. Let the pundits ask the questions. Why Salah not playing? If Liverpool start playing better without you, potentially maybe you think, well, I don't belong here. You go to the manager in private and say, do I not belong here anymore? That's disappointing. You did promise me I could play in the summer. Can I go in January? Yes, you can. Okay, I'm leaving. Then come out once you've left, or once you've the reason I'm leaving is because I've been dropped.
But you don't do it now because it piles on the pressure.
Don't do it now.
I think he's trying to get his manager sacked then.
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's trying to get Slot sacked.
Yeah,
and it's not on because, you won them the league last year, but like he's doing a Ronaldo. He thinks he's bigger than Liverpool
and Ten Hag,
and he thinks he's bigger than any manager of Liverpool Football Club. In his idea, I don't know.
Where are Liverpool fans going to lie their where their allegiances lie?
To Salah.
Yeah, so
even though
it's not fucked.
We can look at it from an objective standpoint and say, yes, Salah is a generational player and he had an amazing season last year, but you have got Isak now. And at the end of the day, like
you need to move on, lads.
You need to move on from Salah because he's only getting older.
Is your boob all right?
No, I just like touching it. He's getting older, and yes, you could maybe pump 1 or 2 more seasons out.
You could pump him out.
Is he gonna have the same impact? No, he's lost his legs. He doesn't track back.
But has he though? That's the bollocks thing. I don't agree with any of that shit, to be honest. I don't think he's lost his legs in. He didn't go to fucking war. Last season,
put it this way: in January, say if Isak and Salah fell out with it's a really hard one. This is quite a good question. Who would you rather have in your team if you could have one for some whatever reason if they came available in January and they fell out with slot? Isak or Salah?
Well, Isak, obviously.
Exactly. So there you go. So you
So
need to build
therefore,
around Isak and forget about Salah. I know it's harsh, but I think
But it's harder when Isak's been
Slot's
shit.
done the brave thing, which is drop him, and he's basically been a big baby about it instead of pulling his fucking socks
But
up.
this is what, right, but just to sum it up, I suppose, it goes back to the thing. If they knew they were going to move past him, why did they offer a massive contract and not just let him go?
No, because I don't think they did. I think Slot, as a manager, and I don't think he needs to go to the board for this, but the board will be asking him questions now, why are you dropping him? Probably because he's come out now. But his job is to manage the team. The board, this is what I'm saying. So Jamie Carragher is right. The board at Liverpool is shocking. The manager is doing a good job. The manager's doing his job. He's dropped Salah because he's not playing very well and the team's not very playing well.
You can't say he's doing a good job.
No, but in terms of he's won the
doing
Premier
a
League. He's
job.
won the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right? The board have fucked him over, in my opinion, because they've made the wrong signs.
Yeah.
They've pumped loads of money into the club, put loads of pressure on him, when they should have just gone, we'll give you Isak.
And Trent's
And Trent's
as well.
left. They've put him in a shit situation.
And that's also no coincidence. Trent's gone, plays on the same side as Salah.
Exactly.
And, so it makes
Exactly.
sense.
It's all so really, I think a Slot has to stay. He's proved he's a good manager. He's proved he can do a job. He's won you the fucking Premier League. Salah is a baby.
Baby.
And yes, Slot's having a tough time, but like anyone can see with their
I
own
think
eyes
at this
that Slot's
point,
a good manager.
I think just generally in finishing it up, I think he's broke the trust now. And I think
trust is over.
something has to give.
It's given now. It's given now because he's saying he's going to leave in January.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, but that's in a what we're saying is true.
In
Where
terms
he's
of
trying to
you
get rid
think
of Slot
has to
because
leave,
the
or
board
he
has to make a
leave.
decision now.
Yeah, the board's going to either stick with the
'Cause you can't have that.
I'm sorry, the board will be sticking
So
with Slot.
I think at this point, Saka needs to be Freudian slip. Salah needs to be dropped from the squad. Like Salah needs to go train on his own.
Yeah,
go train with the under 21s.
After that, I'd be disgusted. Imagine if dictator Arteta. Imagine if Erdegaard. Imagine if Eze. Well, no, who's a good example?
Would be Saka, wouldn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. Imagine if Saka just started playing really poorly and he just didn't get any goals and assists. And Arteta, after to be fair, he gave him a good start to season, didn't he? He started him in every game, didn't he, for a while?
Mate, this is what I mean. It's 3 games.
If Arteta dropped Saka for 3 games, you would probably be like, fucking hell, that's a bold move and Madueke starts playing. Fair enough. But then if Saka then comes out like a knob and says, I've got no relationship with the manager anymore, and you'd think, what?
Yeah, anyway, I think to sum it up, Salah has to go, blood. He's got to go, blood.
He's got to
But
go.
does Slot? Are they mutually exclusive? Do
No,
they both
I think
need
you
to
give.
go?
I think you give Slot this season's been a shocker. So I think next season, once this mess,
Is there any point in
complete
getting rid of
mess
him?
of a fucking season is over, which it has been for Liverpool. You build momentum towards the back end of this season. He starts to figure out who he can trust and who he can't with the new signings.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
And then you give him another season with the new signings and probably a centre back.
I think he just needs 2 transfer windows, and after
does.
that they'll probably be fine.
He does.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's that dramatic. I just think it's what's dramatic about it is that it's been such a
high to a low.
yeah, and also when you thought with the reinforcements that they'd be better.
What happened is
So-
Liverpool fans thought the transition season would have been last season and thought it was going to be
Yeah,
bad
that's
and then
true.
good.
You're having the
They want-
rebuild now.
The rebuild is now.
And you got lucky that you could have Slot managed to flog the Klopp horse
you've
one more
been-
season.
The interim season, he had an amazing interim season, didn't he? Basically, he managed to take that momentum and win a league, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
No one expected
Because
that.
anyone would have said, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not, obviously, I don't know because I wasn't focusing at the time too much when Slot came in. But I'm assuming that the thing was, right, Klopp's team needs to be rebuilt. In some ways it did. You could tell. And I think, with Van Dijk going, as in getting older, Trent, those kind of things, Salah even, they're getting older anyway, Robbo. And you kind of knew that a
He
rebuild
needed something.
has to happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Even
you
Van
say, it's
Dijk.
probably a good point that it was surprising. You know what? This is the thing. If Liverpool finished 4th last season,
This wouldn't be a thing.
then it wouldn't be a thing. They're kind of a victim of their own success.
Yeah.
in some ways.
Arnie Slot is a victim of his own success.
I actually think he is.
Because if last season this was
This
If
was
this was last season,
Yeah.
last season,
Everyone
you'd
be
be going,
like, okay, Klopp's gone. That's
well,
why.
it's because Klopp's
Good manager,
gone.
but Klopp's
and
gone.
it's going to take him time, give him time. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the crux of it.
That is the crux
He's
of
a
it.
victim of his own success.
We figured it out.
It's like Matt Damon and fucking Ben Affleck when
They peaked too early.
they won an Oscar at 28 for Good Will Hunting. They had the best one-hit wonder ever.
And Ben Affleck
then they
fell
had a
off,
bit of a
but
dip.
Matt Damon didn't.
Ben Affleck fell off to become an alcoholic, which Klopp
Did
probably
he? Oh.
will. Which probably Klopp probably will. Slot probably will. But then he'll probably get back on the horse and he'll go all the way to the top. I hope they don't, because I'm an Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal
J-Lo.
fan. I want to fucking yes.
I'm enjoying it.
J-Lo.
I'm enjoying
I want to, I want Liverpool to do bad, but at the same time, it's like give the guy a fucking break. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So for me, the manager
Sack.
is more
Get rid of
important than the players. And that is mental to say, because like in other sports, it's the opposite of that. Especially in America, it's all about LeBron James and Steph Curry.
I
and all
always
these
just
players,
found it
but-
strange just to like. Actually, I can't be asked to go into it, but I just always found it strange as well, just like how Klopp left. It was just so random.
No, he was there for ages.
No, but it was just really random. He was like, "Oh, I'm going now."
No, because it was
Like,
it
they
was
weren't that-
planned. It was pre-planned though, wasn't it? I don't think
But
we
I
need to go
always
into
thought
that.
it was a bit like.
No, I think you're reading into that too much.
No, I don't think so. I just thought it was a bit weird.
What? How long did you think he was going to fucking stay at Liverpool for? Like Alex Ferguson, like forever?
Why not?
He was probably sick
What
of
else
it.
is he doing? He's fucking about doing.
Well, he's having
earning
a break. He
adverts.
might come back to Liverpool. You don't know if Slot keeps fucking doing shit. But I doubt it.
Anyway, let's get off Liverpool. I'm sick of them. I don't care.
That was
next.
I really enjoyed that conversation. I thought it was quite interesting.
Was
But
it?
Summary: Salah's a knob, and Slot needs time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Just to go back to Emery, I think.
By the way, Villa, you're going to finish 7th. I don't care. Like, you do the same thing every season, and you turn up against us every time. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, he got Emery treats that game like a cup final, and I'm sorry, I know teams say that about everything, but he does, because he is genuinely sour about how it ended at Arsenal. Arsenal fans took the piss out of him every single week for the good evening. That he hated Arsenal fans, he hates us. So I think it's personal with him.
But it's the same thing with Villa every season, and it's the same thing with Emery, right? Like, Emery...
Also, we'll batter
sorry,
them. We've
but
got them in a month.
If any Arsenal fan ever brings up Emery, like, at Arsenal, it's just like,
we
fuck
also
off.
all the pundits
Just
do that
shut
every
fuck up.
time Emery beats us.
He was,
Jamie Carragher will come out and say they should have given him time. He was crap with
What's
us.
the
He
point?
lost 5-1 against Chelsea in the Europe. I would never forgive
also,
him for
like,
that.
if Emery had done Arteta's job, and then Emery went to Villa and Arteta beat him because Villa was the
No, if
Arteta
Arteta
was
went to Villa,
Yeah,
yeah.
so if Arteta was the Villa coach,
You'd be saying
would you go? Oh, they should have given it Arteta. Fuck off.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Just fuck off.
You would not. You'd be
it's
saying
literally just
yeah.
because they it's because Emery's won stuff, right? So that's and
Yeah,
fair
but he's
enough.
not won anything at Villa.
No, he's not.
And he needs. That's what I mean. So Emery could get criticism too. At the end of the day, he should have won against Crystal Palace last season in the FA Cup.
I think,
and he probably put all his attention into trying to beat Arsenal in the fucking league game. Whereas, let's be honest, Villa fans, I reckon Villa does have a chance of finishing top 4, but you're not going to compete for the title.
but you need to be winning
Obviously not.
trophies.
Yeah, but
Like
you're not,
you've got a good enough side to win a trophy, right? Like with those players, like Leicester, they won trophies, right? They won an FA Cup even when they were. But that's what I'm saying, right? So like Villa are in a really good spot, and I think you've got a really good squad, and
They should have won the Europa League. They haven't
Emery's
won that.
yeah, and Emery's not really done it, right? Like
For you at the minute, but I think obviously he's a fantastic manager and he will win something at Villa.
Do you
It's only a
think?
matter of it's only a matter of time. He's not really been backed.
No, he's not. In fairness, no, I agree. I'm not trying to shit on.
Jesus,
I'm not
fucking
trying
Christ.
to shit on
Honestly,
Emery.
you give
I
Emery
am.
because Emery
I am.
now is the thing is with Villa and Emery. I'm gonna give them a bit of credit. They're similar to Arsenal in terms of that Emery's been there for a very long time now. The philosophy, everything, the manager, the culture at the club, it's very similar to Arsenal in terms of everyone believes in it and it is
Yeah.
a thing. It's a full-on thing now. It's like a whole operation there.
Yeah.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
So I think if Emery was given the money that Arteta's had, honestly, I genuinely think like it would be a conversation of Jesus Christ, like this Villa team is. I mean, Arteta, he's a fantastic manager. Let's be honest, he's totally transformed the club. But he's been bankrolled.
But Emery never did it at the big teams.
Yes, but can he take a small team like Villa if they bankrolled? That's the question. Is if
what is his
if
peak,
Emery
what's his
was
limit?
given if Emery was
That's always
given
been the question
Wirtz,
with
if Emery was given Wirtz, Isak, and if or Arteta, or if he was given Eze and Gyökeres, what would he do?
No offense, Villa.
What would he do?
No offense, right? But I would kind of like to see Emery at another,
Big team.
and not that Villa aren't big. I just mean, and not that they don't have money, they do, but just a team that can really invest, like
A big,
yeah,
a
like
really
Emery
big,
at like
financially big
Liverpool,
club.
City,
Yeah.
United, or like.
And I
do
think
you know what I mean?
he won't get sacked at Villa. He might leave, and if he does, I think he could still, because of what he's done at Villa and how many
he's done an
trophies
amazing job.
he's out his career. I reckon from this, and he's still got time at Villa. I'm saying in a few years he could go on to get a job at Real Madrid or he's won so many European Cups. It's ridiculous.
But I don't
think he's won the Europa League.
But the thing is, this is exactly my point, though. Like, he has had a CV that is amazing for a long time. So he's had a really good CV for a long time. That's my point. And he went to 2 clubs, PSG and Arsenal, and didn't really do it. That's my point.
PSG
Very
for me
different.
was the big one but thing is, he didn't win the league, did he?
No, he did.
He did, but he didn't win
the
it.
Champions League.
He didn't win the Champions League, but also
PSG's never have.
Luis Enrique did it with PSG, but he had to literally completely strip down the fucking core of the club and the team and stop them spending money on
And that was
superstars.
that was a mentality shift from the PSG's ownership and the board, rather than a manager. I
Yeah.
mean, and also Luis Enrique just happens to be fantastic, and they also happen to have really good players.
Do you not think we've lost? I mean, I'd love Luis Enrique in the Premier League. I think I think Klopp was a big blow as well. Like, I know.
To be fair, that's probably the only manager that I would take over Arteta right now.
Luis Enrique,
Probably just because he's won it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you've got to give Arteta a chance to win it. That's the thing.
No,
So
I
you've
wouldn't.
Got,
I'm
you've
not.
got to
This is
give him-
not me saying.
Yeah.
It's not me saying. Oh, but the point is, if someone said who you're gonna get, I'd be like, well, I'd probably get.
The thing is
Luis
with
Enrique.
Arsenal now, because Arteta is so
But we're not gonna get him.
because Arteta is so cushy with the board. I can see if we don't win, say if we don't win the league this year, or we don't win a trophy this year, say, fucking hell, that'd be awful. But if we didn't, I think the wheels are just going to keep turning on this Arteta machine. I think players will come and go, but I think he'll stay.
I don't think it really matters though. Like, it's Jonathan Luke. Like, you might not know him, but he's a good Guardian journalist, and he was saying like he's a bit of like but you know what I mean. Like, he's really clever.
Very
like
like
bloke.
a
Bit of a nerd.
Thinks ahead. He thinks long term.
No, he's a good bloke.
Yeah.
And he was like, people keep saying Arsenal need to win this year. Do they? And I'm like, it's true. Like, do we actually? Because I think we'll just keep investing.
Well, what I'm saying is,
this is what Gary Neville and
We don't
etc.
need to
Not Gary Neville
win.
actually. He seems to love us at the moment. But this is what Carragher. Carragher's like the bogeyman of this podcast. He's actually not even that bad. But like rival fans, right? Paul Scholes or someone like that would be like, they're praying that the board sacks Arteta at some point, because one, I don't think they like Arteta. I don't think fans generally like Arteta. I think they want him to fail, but I also think they know that he's good enough and he will do it. I think we all kind of know he will do it eventually.
yeah, and whether it's at Arsenal or it's at another club, but
He's gonna do
if
it.
he stays at Arsenal, the law of averages is because we do so well every
We're
season.
always in there.
We will eventually win a
something.
trophy.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
also-
that's my point in terms of I think players will come and go. If the question to answer is, and this when me, Will, and you have this argument in terms of, I'm very pro Arteta. I know I criticise him, but I think if we don't win a trophy this year, I'm in that boat where it's like the wheels will just keep turning.
Yeah.
Yes, a couple of players might get tempted. You know, they might leave because they think I'm sick of fucking not winning a trophy. But I think Arteta's that good of a manager. We'll just keep going.
This is the job, right, that Arteta's done. And like, people, obviously we did the clip, like the Philosopher Genius thing, but like, people underestimate the fact that like the clubs, we always talk about so this is the thing, right? So like, Emery's a good football pitch manager in the sense of like,
Tactically.
yeah, and he's done a lot. And also, to be fair, he's brought a lot to the club as well. But I think my point is like, Arteta's done that job, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. He's just transformed every aspect of this club. And maybe it's just lucky that it happened to be that Josh Kroenke, Edu,
Pulled his finger out.
and like at the time, I suppose it was Vinay, but like Tim Lewis, like our leadership changed and they wanted change, right? And I think they reacted maybe to the Super League stuff, maybe toward the end of Wenger. They had to react. And I don't know, it's the chicken or the egg, right? But it happened at the same time. Arteta came in that room and he had a vision, and the board said, we love it and we're going to back you to the hill. And that's the thing, right? We are in a position now with our squad. Like, people underestimate the fact that with this squad, we can sell a lot of these players.
That's what I mean. If someone
and we
wants
can reinvest that
That's
money.
what I mean.
So we're ahead now. We're so far ahead.
For example,
Right?
say we don't win a trophy this year, and God forbid, but Saka or it wouldn't be Rice because his contract. They'd be annoyed, but I think they've all signed long-term contracts.
Let's say,
they'd have to force
right,
the way out.
someone
They'd have to
comes
force
in.
the way out.
No, let's just say someone comes in for, in theory, no one would want this to happen.
Oh, yeah,
let's
of
say
course.
someone comes in for Saka
Saliba.
for 100 million. It's for
Sali-
Saka. Let's just say Saka, right? Because he's attacking
He
player.
wouldn't leave though.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Let's say. God,
But can we not give a Saliba as an example because he could leave?
Saliba's replaceable.
They're all replaceable.
Yeah,
though,
but that's
aren't
my point. Like, we brought in Mascara, not comparing the two, but he'd do a
they?
job.
Yeah, but you replace.
But we could, with that 100 million,
yeah.
we'd buy another.
For example, I think the most realistic one, because Real Madrid could come in for Saka and he'd probably be like, I'm still going to give it.
No, that's bad. I'm just saying in
I
theory.
think Saliba's a realistic one.
No, but I'm not talking
in
about.
terms of.
I'm not talking. It's hypothetical. It's not
I
about.
know,
them
of
actually
course it
going.
is, but I think go with the better hypothetical in Saliba. I don't think he will, but for example, we don't win a trophy this year and Saliba goes, I'm fucking sick of this. Which, as a player, I'd start to think, is this ever going to happen?
Yeah.
Real Madrid come in from the bid 100 million, because that is what he's worth. He leaves for 100 million. We could go out and spend 75, 80 million on a centre-back and still have 30 million in
Or
change.
just buy like a good centre back for like 30 million from Brighton or something.
Exactly.
You know, or,
Because
like, from
the way
fucking
we're run as a club is
some
fantastic
up-and-coming team
now.
So
yeah, you know, to steal your point and turn it into my point.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
No, I actually think that's what I'm trying to say. He transformed every aspect of the football club. Small things. I know it's cringe, but like bringing in North London Forever, bringing in, like, helping the Ashburton Army get more involved. The TIFOs and stuff like that. Like, our club has changed, and like people don't want to admit this is a point that stopped being made now. But like Gary Neville was like, oh well, Arteta, like Arsenal just won't keep up with the economic powerhouses of like United and all. But it's a load of bollocks. Like, with FFP, there's still a limit to how much you can invest, right? So therefore, and our owners are rich enough to invest that amount. You know, unless they scrap FFP completely, then it would be different, because then you'd have Newcastle, City, United,
Villa.
These state-backed clubs would run up.
You'd be fucked.
Would go away from us, right?
Think
But
about
right now, and that's not going to happen, because there needs to be fairness and integrity in the sport to an extent, you know. Like, so right now we've got owners that, one, can back us to the extent that we need to be back, but two, are just know how to run a football club.
I think,
and they know how to run a franchise. I mean, look how they run the Rams.
Yeah, and also they've got an NHL team that is doing extremely. I should know that because I used to.
The Oilers?
No, it's not the Oilers. They're terrible. They won the Stanley Cup. So they won the Stanley Cup for the first time in
you should know
forever.
that.
I know
That's
I should.
poor. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it slips onto my head. But yeah, so they've got an NHL team and a baseball team that perform extremely well. So they know how to operate a club. So we'll always be good. And I agree that pisses. I think rival fans were probably thinking Arsenal are going to squander around.
They used to think though that
we were a banter club, and I think that people thought we were going to stay there forever, and now we are back to where.
But this is the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is the actual thing.
United aren't.
Like, Arteta, even if he got sacked tomorrow, even if Arteta didn't win anything in this club, and he did win an FA Cup, and he's won 2 Community Shields. I'm joking.
We'd bring a fantastic manager in that would probably win something.
Boom.
Because
what are you gonna do?
Look at I'm sorry.
Like,
the board was appointed Unai Emery. So whatever you say about the board, there's some fucking smart people who run our football club.
clearly, yeah, they had a good idea. Yeah, exactly. The two candidates, were Arteta and Unai Emery.
Yeah, and also
Two
the other
quality
candidates
managers.
were like, we're going to get a world-class manager. If Arteta got sacked tomorrow, we'd have an abundance of world-class
So
managers.
this is the thing.
So
this was
doesn't
on a
matter.
TIFO podcast. It was so interesting, and people were like, "Why are people going on about managers so much? Because what do they actually do? They put some cones out, and they go, right, lads, we're going to play like this. But who you should really be looking at in terms of where a club is going is the board, right? And if you've got smart people in that room, like Liverpool, it's no coincidence. Yes, Klopp came in, right? But who appointed Klopp? Who saw that vision? Who invested in those players like Mane, like Van Dijk, like
recruitment
Salah?
team they bring in, the people they bring in.
So it's the smart people that run this. And right now, Arsenal have some of the smartest operators.
And also,
we are some clever operators.
Building on that big time. I don't know if we've just signed those twins.
We've signed the twins.
We've signed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And also as well, we keep bringing in. We've got another talent scout now who's come from Italy. Who's come from one of the big clubs in Italy. Who's touted as one of the best. So we're always making.
Look at our fucking set piece coach.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is now. It's like Moneyball. Everything's fucking
so like people also
ounce.
Say that this is all Arteta. I think Arteta happens to be. I think, in my opinion, Arteta happens to coincide with a mentality that is wider than just Arteta. People think that Arteta sets this mentality of the standards and the everything needs to be maximised. I think our entire club has realised on a whole that everything can be maximised.
Also, as well, I know this is going to sound mental and proper. It's going to sound proper mental, but I know a lot of football's about luck, but also you can sort of project things and predict things. And they will sit down with stats every single fucking week. And they'll probably know already that we're probably going to finish in the top 3 of the Premier League, statistically speaking. So it's like, if it even got to, this is mental, but say if it got to April, depending on how close it was, you sort of know as a club where to prioritise. Like, they probably look at stats, they probably look at things and go, well, we should probably put all our eggs in the Champions League basket because basically you can tell. I know that's a kind of a dumb point. That's actually is that a dumb point? I think that's.
I don't know what you're talking. No, keep going.
I was just thinking
you just said it was dumb, and now I'm thinking,
they would probably have even though we pushed City hard towards the end of last season, they probably looking at the numbers and everything like that probably knew that City were going to win the league. So I think football clubs know.
Do you mean City 2 years?
City 2 years ago, yeah. Sorry. So they knew obviously last season that we weren't going to win the league based off the first half of the season. I think so. Everything's numbers. So, for example, my point is, say we get to March and we drop off a bit. People in the boardroom or people
I don't think we're going to panic.
But what I'm saying is, they might be like, "Oh, well, we don't care because we'll focus on the Champions League. We'll try and win that, or we'll try and win the FA Cup, or we'll win trophies anyway. We're going to win trophies, even if it's not the Premier League. We'll win trophies."
Our board showed that from the beginning of the Arteta era, that they do not care what the
outside media think at all.
Because they're smarter than those people.
No one does.
Ultimately, the media do not have a clue.
They don't know what's going on.
No one has a clue. It's basically just people comment on our podcast being like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
No one does.
Does Carragher?
No, they don't have no.
The club don't speak to him.
They get insight.
They get a bit of insight because they played it. And they played a different game. Yeah, they played a game 20 years ago. Roy Keane don't have a clue anymore. No offence to them.
I'd only listen to, and that's the thing with Sky Sports and stuff, it's entertaining because it's personalities.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to get an insight, you'd have people on these panel shows that have been owners of football clubs and that have maybe worked as a scout or
but
worked
you know why?
as
It'd be fucking boring TV.
And that's why.
Because they'd sit here and
it's
they
all
go,
about numbers.
Yeah, Arsenal will probably win it in the next 2-3 seasons.
And that's what I mean. If people were really... If football would be... How interesting would it be if they replaced... If Sky Sports and these companies didn't think about numbers and they actually thought about what viewers wanted? The average football fan probably wants, yes, a bit of entertainment, but also they kind of want a good insight into how the club is run.
Commentary.
They want objective, non-reactionary, commentary. So, yeah, Arsenal lose one game, but there's only a certain amount of people, pundits or commentators on sport in the world that would probably look at that objectively and go, "This doesn't really matter." But you can't say that. Because it's not
exactly. That's the thing, right? So that's
but Gary Neville did say that, to be fair, on the Gary Neville podcast. So
no, I understand that. And to be fair, Gary Neville's actually got a lot. I mean, I know we criticised him last week, but I think he's actually gotten better as he's not as emotional.
No, he's not.
And he's not as
because I think he's
not as angry.
I think he's finally accepted the fact that United are finished.
I think he was quite bitter for a while.
He was, and I think it's because United. But also, he's accepted what United are.
I made that point. It must be terrible for Gary Neville because first of all, that bloke loves United. That is clear. Yeah, he bleeds for that club, and United are shit, and they have been since he left. And then not only that, but your 3 biggest rivals. Let's be clear. Liverpool, first of all, City, and then it probably would be Arsenal after that.
Yeah.
Are the dominant teams.
Mint. Yeah.
And you're shit. So he's not going to be having a good time, is he?
That's what I mean. I think he's finally got over the fact that United aren't... This is a good question. Are United
let's go on to United
quickly. Are United ever going to get back to where they were? Because at the moment, I think Gary Neville has actually accepted the fact, and a lot of Man United fans surely they've accepted the fact that now we are just.
To be fair, I don't think proper United fans won't care because United have been crap before.
Yeah.
Like, the club is bigger than they've been through work. You know,
people had an amazing 20-year period, but before that,
they weren't great. Like, before Ferguson, they weren't very good. They've had periods, they've had real lows and highs at that club, and I think they'll have a period again, and it is like football. That's how it happens. They're big enough. The thing is, it's money, like we're talking about. They're a big enough club where they're never going to
squandering money. That's the issue.
Yeah, but
like the way the club is run, I mean, the stadium's leaking. It's
no, but they're going to be investing.
Yeah, they're in debt, aren't they? They're in a lot of debt. As
well. I think listen, it only takes. Football's a funny thing, but it only takes
8 years.
No. What I was going to say is it only takes one crop of players to come through and things change.
Well,
things change.
One player.
One player. Like, look at Leicester.
Look at Barcelona.
I mean, if you asked a Leicester fan before they won the league, 2 years before they won the league, they wouldn't have had a clue.
I think for me, Messi. I think Man United should focus on getting another Ronaldo. They should focus on trying to find the next Ronaldo.
Well, they had one in Garnacho. Garnacho was
their Ronaldo and Martial.
Trying to find it?
Oh, yes!
That was a moment when Martin Tyler, as a Man United fan, thought that Martial was
welcome to Man United.
Yeah.
They had the Ballon d'Or clause, famously.
Yeah, Martial had a Ballon d'Or clause because they thought he was. So that's what I mean. I think they've just been a bit lost as a club, and I think they've been back. What it is well, it was dead funny, that Ronaldo quote when he came back to United, and it was like he stepped in a time machine because they've not changed since he left.
Yeah.
So I think what's happened is there's been a big wake up call at that club. They've tried to keep. They've tried to keep going on what worked 10 years ago. And
credits.
It's not.
I actually think, and I've from speaking to United fans about this, it was Ralph Rangnick that came in
and said,
This is a joke.
Also, Ronaldo said it too, though.
No, I know he did, but I think to have you manage it, a player can say it, like a player says these things, but I think Ralph Rangnick coming in and just given. I remember that interview and it was like a post-mortem. He just said, this club is
he was brought in to assess it, and his assessment was, you're all stupid and it needs to change, and it's shit.
And they kind of hung on because, in fairness, they weren't that bad. I mean, they were close. Like under Solskjaer and Mourinho, they had top two finishers. So like they were close. And weirdly, even though they were crap.
Yeah.
So I think that made them think. This is the thing, right? Like with football, good process and having like good systems does not always guarantee success, right? And success does not always mean that you have good process, and it means that you're well run. They're different things. So when you have success, right, you have this idea that, well, they must be well run, but that might just be any amount of things. They've just got really good players. It just came together. They might behind the scenes be a mess. It's the same with Arsenal, right? Like we've clearly got good process, and right now we're very close to having, the results from that.
Doesn't guarantee it.
But I don't think it's not a guarantee as well, right?
No.
So
I mean, you look at PSG; they came out of nowhere. They just happened to click really well that season, and they.
But what I would say about Arsenal, and that's the point, is like good process. Eventually, it correlates.
Yeah, there's a strong correlation.
Yeah, like look at Brighton. It's not a mistake. It's not a chance that Brighton still
and like they could have a bad season. There's a strong correlation that because they're well run, they'll come back again. Whereas, like, I feel like Man United can't really afford to keep having bad seasons. That's my point. Like, I think they have to keep, yeah. So, it's a good point. It's like this podcast, really. Like, we've got a good process in place. We churn out the clips every week, and we perform week in, week out. Does it guarantee success? No.
No, not at all.
Is there a strong correlation? Yes.
Not right now. No, there might be. There was with the Foden.
On that note, thank you so much for listening to the Armchair podcast, the extended version, because we got that passionate about.
To be fair, I came into this thinking I don't want to talk about football at all, and then we spent an hour and 50 minutes having.
Life is really funny, isn't it? In that sense, it's like we both said before the podcast, we don't
want to do this anymore.
The thing is, I didn't want to do it because there was nothing really to say, and it turns out you start talking about Mo Salah and it opens a fucking can of worms.
Big can of worms.
Yeah,
yeah. I think to be fair, I enjoy these kind of I enjoy the more general,
Yeah,
like
same.
almost like
game by
historical
game.
process kind of like big trends. That's a lot more interesting to talk about than a game, because a game of football is ultimately just 22 blokes on a pitch and anything can happen to an extent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas actual like patterns and like things that happen over a various amount of time is much more interesting to talk about, because you've got more basis.
If you did like this more nuanced, educational, informative chat about football in general and the course of football history, then please let us know in the comments. If you
Might
thought
fucking
that
hate
was
it.
fucking
Yeah.
shit and just talk about
Woke
the games,
bollocks,
please.
this.
Then
I'll just go
please,
listen to fucking Tifo.
yeah, just comment and say stop trying to be the
Stop.
athletic.
Yeah, you are not.
And like,
I
please,
hope Io Camilleri listens to this pod though.
this
and you'd be
one,
like,
this is
I
good.
love
well,
these
mate,
lads.
I don't
Nah,
know
you
about the first. Yeah, to be fair, I think all the way through, like, we've not really joked. I've used the soundboard twice.
Yes!
So, and we had loads of sounds, but we'll save them for later.
got
We've
loads
got
of good
some really
sounds.
good new ones.
Yeah.
But no, like, yeah, I appreciate everyone listening. Again, I hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, so thanks for that. If anyone's
Oh
listening
yeah,
from
that's
the...
actually huge. To be
Yeah.
fair, because like, what was it? 2 weeks ago, where were we? 200,
No.
100.
No, we weren't. Were we?
We didn't have any. We didn't barely had any Instagram followers. I think we had.
I think we've gained about 400 followers in...
I think we
in
gained
a-
about
in-
700.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so thanks. If anyone's come from the Instagram and now is listening to the podcast
And actually managed to
drop
listen
a
to this whole
comment,
thing.
like drop a comment.
Yeah, please do.
Or drop a comment on Spotify, listen on Spotify. But yeah, anyone that listens, like,
Or
no
just
one
drop a
really
comment.
comments on YouTube, and we do
No.
get around 50 viewers a week now, to be fair.
Yeah, Trent, you stopped commenting as well.
You should
so
just fucking comment.
hell.
Like, I know you're enjoying it and listen to it. 50 of you
Just
have
say, I
listened to
really
it.
enjoy this.
You don't even. You could say this is like
This is
say this is
shit.
woke or whatever.
This
I
is
don't really
crap.
give a shit. Like, and I know my mates listen to this as well. So just drop a comment. Like, what you doing?
What are you doing?
Also, as well, I'm going to put out a post, I think, this week as
Yeah.
one of the clips about people sending in voice notes.
Yeah.
Because if they
Oh, yeah,
sent
we
me
can do
if
those.
they sent me a voice note,
Yeah.
then and I'll figure out if you can do it on Instagram, or I know you can do it on actually Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think if obviously for followers they can send us voice notes, can't they?
Yeah.
If you follow, I don't, or you have to follow them back. Nah, I think you can
Nah, I
send
think
the
you can
voice
just send
note.
message
So I
requests.
think we should do an Instagram call out to send questions in. I can load them up onto the soundboard, and we'll get some really interesting takes.
Yeah.
So I think I'm missing that as a podcast in terms of I like to hear people's takes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So let's do that.
Well, and because they're
I'm
usually
sick
shit.
of my takes. The shit.
Yeah.
So-
All right.
He's here!
Are you a Camilleri in the comments?
Yeah. If he James Lawrence Alcott in the comments.
He's
Yeah.
here!
All right.
That's what we want.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers. Yeah. Take care.
Drop a comment.
And
Bye-bye.
have a good Christmas.